Feedback. Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
And take us along with you. Feedback, feedback, feedback.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
All right, I want to say happy Monday to all of you. And for those of you I did not speak to on yesterday, happy Father's Day. My name is Theo Broughton. I'm the co-founder of Hood Research, and you're tuned in to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. And I want you to know that I appreciate all of you who helped to sponsor this program. And for any of you who are considering, please make your check or money order out to Hood Research. But if you prefer, you can make it out to Watkins Broadcasting Company. We have no objection to that. We would, however, like for you to mail it to Hood Research at P.O. Box 4416, Detroit, Michigan 48204. Again, please mail it to Hood Research at P.O. Box 4416, Detroit, Michigan 48204, so that we can make sure it gets credited for this program. We have a website, which is hoodresearch.org. Our number is area code 248-234-2371. Again, the telephone number to Hood Research is area code 248-234-2371. The email is contact@hoodresearch.org. Again, the email is contact@hoodresearch.org. I want to say good morning to so many of you, and week after week, as we go out in the community, I meet so many people. I want to say happy Monday to Vera and Ron and Barbara, to Rosa. I want to say good morning to Mary, to Virginia, and let you all know that we have a court watchers committee now, and it's coming along good. There was a meeting this past few days regarding the way in which it should be done, and I want to say good morning to Jay, way over on the east side. I know you're happy that we're back on Comcast Cable and on Channel 90. And spread the word. All of you spread the word for us. And I want to say good morning to Les, way on the west side. Good morning to Tom. Good morning to John at the barbershop. And it's just so wonderful to have so many people to come out and support. And I also need to say good morning to Ruben. Ruben was at our meeting. He eased in and eased out. But anyway, happy Father's Day to you. I'm glad you were there. And I want to pass it over to you, Thabiti. I know there's something you want to share this morning.
Happy Monday to everyone, and belated happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hope you had a wonderful time. I'd like to say shout outs to Cheryl D., to Sheila Ragland, to Jackie Bowman, to Brother Fred, to Brother Smith Bay, to the other Brother Fred also. We got two of them who watch us now. I want to say happy birthday to Serena. I'm not Serena, but Venus Williams. Today is her birthday. And there's a rapper, Kendrick Lamar, his birthday. But the biggest birthday shout out is to my daughter, Brandy. Happy birthday, Brandy.
Happy birthday, Brandy.
And we will see you later on for dinner.
Yeah. That is so cool.
And I always ask everyone to have pen, paper ready for information you may want to record, and to invite your family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, acquaintances to the conversation. Mm-hmm. And we are glad that you're part of our conversation. So welcome to the program.
Absolutely. And you know, you were sharing with me this morning that this month is Black Music Month. And there was something you had shared that I thought was good for us to share with those who are tuned in. Well, you know, something that really, what's a good word? Annoyed. That's a good word. Annoyed me was the report on Jay-Z. My understanding is Jay-Z is a billionaire. And it seems that the media just was all deep into his business. He has so much in property, so much in cash, so much in stock, so much in this, so much in that. I don't remember ever hearing anybody go down the line like that, deep into the business of Dan Gilbert or Penske or John Kennedy or whoever is a billionaire. The Illages. But for Jay-Z, as a black man, I guess they were having difficulty believing that he could have reached that height. Go figure. Anyway, you know, we have some serious things going on around this country, and I think that maybe there needs to be a lot more attention paid to it, and conversation with our families about it. You know, I've heard over the past couple of days about a young lady who had come out of a dollar store with two little ones. I guess the two little ones sound like they were under 10 years old, and she's 5 months pregnant. And the police stopped her, roughed her up, told her, get on the ground, raise your hands, had the children laying on the ground, and supposedly it was because there was a doll worth $1 that the little child had walked out of the store with. Now, I haven't heard since then whether that was actually true or not. But this morning, before I left home, there was a report of a 16-year-old girl who had been shoved in the back of a police car and socked. I mean, just beat on like she was some boxer or something. And it seems to me that more and more often our women are now getting brutalized by the police. It's fortunate that there was some video of both of these incidents, and I guess they are going viral on the internet. But just the fact that it's being done more and more to young women, teenage girls, you just have to add that to the kidnapping and the raping and the murdering of our young women. You know, where's this country going to?
You know, it's sad. I think this marks the 100th year anniversary of women being able to vote in this country. Mm-hmm. And when we look at the legacy of how women have been treated throughout the history of this country, they've never been given their fair share. We look at the inequity when it comes to wages. And for me, that's kind of startling because we talk about it year after year after year. Why isn't there any parity in wages if we're both working as engineers or whatever the occupation may be, how do you discriminate and say that the woman is less capable? And when you look at the film that was recently out a couple of years ago, Hidden Figures, when we look at these disparities, not only were they gender, but racially related as well, you know, it's even more striking that these women, had they not been with NASA, they may have never made it to the moon, and certainly not in the time frame that they were trying to attempt that.
That's right. That's right.
So women have never been given their just due. And I will say this one thing, although it's like a side note. In 1914, women, let's say that Mother's Day was officially designated, but it took till 1972 for Father's Day to be officially designated. Not that that's any kind of fairness at all, but yeah, it took till 1972 before it was officially designated, even though it was celebrated.
Wow.
So from 1914 to 1972. 72.
It's as if they were invisible up until 1972. That doesn't even make sense.
Well,
Wow.
which is, and I'm surprised that the men didn't have it in reverse, because we know this is a patriarchal society.
Right.
So that was a mind blower for me. But I still salute mothers above fathers all, because you bear children, you nurture children. Maybe when the man is out there being the breadwinner, the mother is the one who helps develop the character and the culture and the personalities of the children. So when sports figures do shout out their moms, I'm shouting out too for them. You know.
Well, you know, I had heard at one time that the women would guide and teach, the children until the age, especially the male child, till the age of 12 or 13. And then the father would, step in and continue the assisting with the maturation of the young man. So.
It's kind of, it makes me think it, because in many cultures, right around that age range is when I guess the rites of passage come along, and young men then become part of the male group and learn to either hunter-gatherers or whatever culture they're in. I know with the Jewish religion, they have the bar mitzvah, but many cultures right around that age range do bring the young men into into their manhood, or help them develop what it is to be a man. Very interesting.
But, that doesn't excuse them not validating Father's Day before 1972. My goodness.
Yeah, what a thing. And just a side note, today marks the 25th anniversary of the infamous white Bronco chase with O.J. Simpson.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well. So many things happen on this day. Listen, there were some, I guess what you call it, affirmations that you had about fathers, that we do want to let our men know that we appreciate them. And we had a wonderful time at our Father's Day meeting on the second Saturday of the month. Let you all know we do meet on the second Saturday of each and every month from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. And we had a wonderful time. And to let you know now, on the second Saturday of July, we're going to have a special drawing, and it's going to take place at 3 p.m. Okay, go ahead. You were going to say what?
Some fathers do. This is day one in a book called Moments for Fathers. A soldier returning home from Vietnam War got off the train with a limp and an arm in a sling. A small gray-haired woman ran to him, followed by a big man who kept up with her by simply walking faster. She embraced the boy and shed some tears. The father moved closer and stated, "I am glad to see you, son." Not much more was said until they reached home and the boy was in the kitchen with his mother. "You know, Mom, I get a kick out of Pa," he said. "Did you notice him at the station? No dramatics, no frog in his throat like a lot of men would have. Of course you understand, I know he likes me. I mean, he probably loves me. But what I mean is you'll never catch Pop losing his head. Boy, He's got ice water in his veins. What a general he would have made. Son, his mother said, he loves you very much, I know. Sure, I know, too. Say, where is Pop? He's outside. You better run in and see how we fixed your room. The young man left and went out the back door knowing exactly where to find her husband. She looked through the crack of the garage door and saw him on his knees. The step stool was his altar. I want to thank you, God, the big man was saying. I ask you, God, to give me a break and let me come out all right. Though I knew then I didn't have any more right to ask than anybody else. But now he's back safe. So I want to thank you, God. I want to thank you very much. Amen. He rose slowly. The woman returned to her kitchen. The young man came back saying, the room looks swell. Say, where did Pop go? He'll be right in, his mother said. There was just something he had to do. Many times fathers attempt to hide their real feelings. Why? Probably because in our society men are still taught to be macho, silent, and tough. Sir, it's okay to express how you feel. Allow yourself to be human, to show an expression, to be loving and caring. Being a father in today's world requires the best from every man who is a father. And what about your father? Have you prayed for him lately? Have you taken the time to express thanks to him for what he has done in your life? Today's quote: the head man of any family, like the head man of any business, holds importance only so long as he isn't unduly impressed with it. This is a quote by Orrin Arnold. Today's verse: as a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. This is Psalms 103:13. And I, as a father, know that it is a challenge because, again, we're not encouraged to express our feelings. We're supposed to be that rock, that foundation. So having tears or showing any signs of emotion, which may be in this society especially interpreted as weakness, is a problem. So I feel that in the development of a man, he has to embrace all emotions and can't be afraid or fearful of expressing those emotions, because it doesn't take away from your manhood to express your emotion. I think it just makes you a deeper and more profound person to envelop all those emotions. So to the fathers out there, make sure that you're doing things that fathers do. I would add that sometimes certainly we're role models, and the way we carry ourselves, our character, it's like a waterfall. It trickles down to the children. They learn by osmosis. So I think it's just very important for men to really, if you feel confident in yourself, then you can also feel confident in your emotions. And it doesn't take anything away from you to express your emotions. As a matter of fact, it makes you that much more available to those who seek that rather than the sternness. And a footnote I add to that, I don't know if anyone saw the movie Fences with Denzel Washington. A very interesting movie. If you haven't seen it, see it. His son asked him, Dad, do you love me? And he says something along the line, do I feed you? You got a bed to sleep in? You got clothes to wear? Well, don't ask me if I love you. I ain't got to love you. I'm taking care of you, ain't I?
It's cold-blooded.
Yeah, it's a very interesting movie.
Yes, it was. Oh, boy. You know, and during the time that one came out, there was like, 2 or 3 additional movies, different storylines, of course. But it seemed like our community was being inundated with a number of black films. I thought that was interesting. I think somebody must have figured out that we buy 57% of the movie tickets these days, so they want to capitalize on it, you know.
I want to shout out to the brothers like the Detroit 300, and there's other brothers out there who step up when things are going on in the community. They will go door to door canvassing to make sure that if someone's been assaulted, woman, child, whomever, that they get out there. And I think that's something that all men should, even within your own block, you relate to your neighbors, and you stick together. I remember, I don't want to say back in the day because I think it still exists, Neighborhood Watch, but it was important for all of us. We are a community. We are a village.
Right.
And if we don't protect the village, then those who would prey on our village will take advantage of it. And we say, well, I don't want to get involved. It's not me. It's not my concern. But once your house is broken into or your family is violated, then you seek that same attention that you could have given to another, because there is strength in numbers, and we have to let the small percentage of people who would terrorize our community know that we're not having it. So fathers, that's another thing to step up for as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And start or join the neighborhood block club or the neighborhood association in the area where you live, because as you just said, there's strength in numbers. And being a part of a radio patrol does not put you in any kind of danger. What you're being asked to do is to ride around your neighborhood with the time that you decide to put in. If you want to do 30 minutes once a month, fine. Just do those 30 minutes once a month. If you want to do an hour a week, then do that. Whatever time you will set aside to assist your neighbors, you're also assisting yourself. And what you're asked to do is to ride through the neighborhood and be the eyes and ears of the department, not the patrolman of the department like Zimmerman, just the eyes and ears. And as you see something, say something. You have a base station, and you call back and say, hey, I just saw somebody breaking the window of a store, or whatever it is you see. And it's on them to forward that message on. And you just keep rolling. You give the address and keep rolling. You don't stop. You just give the information that you saw. And if you have a video camera or something, you want to do that, fine, but keep rolling. And then the police come and check out what you have seen. So there needs to be more people involved with the radio patrol. Also within our community, our men need to take inventory of what they know and what they want to know. We have a wonderful community college within our community. As a matter of fact, we have 3 campuses inside Detroit, and we have 3 outside of Detroit. And they have a variety of classes to help you improve yourself, your skills, etc. The people who are 60 years of age or older can take classes free. We're going to stop for a break, and I'll come back and tell you more. So call your friends, neighbors, and family. Tell them, turn on Comcast Cable 90 or any of the other apps. We'll be back momentarily.
Alexa, open TV 33 Live. Alexa, open FM Detroit. Alexa, open FM Virgin Islands. Now you can listen to WHPR, TV 33, and WVIE on Amazon Echo. Don't miss a minute of your favorite shows. And find out how you can have your own show heard worldwide on Amazon Echo. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. The Watkins Broadcasting Company.
The National Guard has a highly trained group of individuals in the military. Their ability has a very direct application in outside industry. Wayne County Community College offering programs such as cybersecurity puts them into a career where there's going to be a tremendous demand. Protecting Fortune 500 companies that are located in Michigan, we feel there's great opportunity in maximizing that partnership.
You can have your own party on TV. Party with R.J. Watkins and the TV 33 family when you hold your own Facebook watch party. Connect all your friends with our friends, and we can have a watch party together. Watch your favorite TV shows when you want, how you want, with your favorite people. Here's how it works. Log on to Facebook from your computer or tablet and go to the RJ Watkins fan page at facebook.com/TV33WHPR, the one with the blue WHPR logo on the left. Like us. Click the word videos with the red tag that says live next to it. Then click the share button at the bottom of the video player and select start a watch party. Invite whoever you want. Your party will be recorded and archived for playback anytime you want. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. At the end of the month, the viewer that has the most people at their watch party will be invited on the TV show live. Come on, let's have a party.
Feedback. Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you. Feedback. Thank you so much for staying tuned to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research, right here at WHPR 160 Victor Street. And as I was saying before the break, if you're 60 years of age or older, you have an opportunity to take classes at Wayne County Community College at absolutely no cost to you. I know that there are many people who have computers. There are many people who have them still in the box. Many people whose loved ones have given them as a gift, and you have not taken it out of the box. Now, know this. Wayne County Community College offers computer classes free to anybody 60 years of age or older. They also have a navigating the internet. That's second class. And the third class is about the operations, additional operations on the computer systems, etc. Know that they have other classes that are available when you talk about skilled trades. For someone who wants to learn how to drive an 18-wheeler, they have that. That's at the Eastern Campus, one of the three in the city of Detroit. After which they give assistance in getting hired. These are high-paying jobs, by the way. The other campuses in Detroit are located on 4th Street, right down from the main United States Post Office. The third one is on Outer Drive and the Southfield Freeway. And the first one that I mentioned on the east side is off of I-94, right across from the Coleman and Young International Airport. Those are the three campuses inside the city of Detroit. There's one in Harper Woods, and the other two are out county in the direction of Metropolitan Airport. But you have opportunities to attend any of those campuses for your classes. You should get a catalog. You should go online. And if you still have your computer in the corner, ask one of your family members who are computer able to show you and share with you the kinds of classes that are available. Just build your knowledge. Build your knowledge. You'll feel good about that. Anyway,
I would like to add to that I attended 4 of the 5 campuses that you mentioned. And for those who are seniors, I took a class in how to use your tablet for those of you who have tablets and notebooks. And again, they have those classes for those who are unfamiliar with how to get onto Facebook, which of course we're a part of. And there were a lot of seniors in the class. As a matter of fact, I was asked to help some of them. They also had classes on how to get on YouTube, which since I had videos on YouTube, I was asked by the teacher or the instructor to help some of the other people in the class. I wasn't ready for it, but
You went to your YouTube videos?
yeah, I stepped up to the challenge and helped some of my fellow students there. So certainly if you have the free time, you're retired, certainly if you're over 60, take advantage of it. The classes don't cost anything. You're going to be in a very comfortable atmosphere with other people who have the same interests and challenges, and you become a part of a family after a while. So, and certainly we're not going back to the Flintstones, we're going to the Jetsons, so we have to be ready for the new things that are coming, because Barney Rubble and Fred Flintstone are no longer available. Irrelevant, exactly.
Oh, wow, that's neat. Now, the telephone number for Wayne County Community College is area code 313-496-2600. Again, that's area code 313-496-2600. And you can get additional information by dialing that number. You can also get additional information by going online for Wayne County Community College. Just Google it, Wayne County Community College. And know that in the fall, I believe the date is set in September, there's going to be a sports medicine building grand opening. Wayne County Community College has a brand new facility which is being constructed on Fort near the main campus on Fort. It's between there and the United States Post Office on 4th Street. But that will be in September, and you will hear additional promotions and announcements about that. But a sports medicine building and the classes in sports medicine. Oh, and by the way, they have a basketball team, too. Anyway, again, lastly, the telephone number is 313-496-2600. 313-496-2600 to reach Wayne County Community College. Now, the BD, this being Black Music Month, there is multiple amounts of information that need to be shared, but there was one that you were thinking about sharing with us today?
Yes, in honor of Black History Month and just keeping it close to home, I want to read the background of a brother, Jackie Wilson, who was born here in Detroit, June 9th. So he just recently had his birthday, 1934.
Wow, and he lived in the North End, didn't he, at one time?
Yes, he passed away January 24th, 1984. Reputedly the most exciting acrobatic live performer of his time, Wilson could sizzle when he sang. His darting, arching shrieks sounded like exposed nerves. His greatest recording, Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher and Higher, could well be the best single ever made. But Wilson's body of work is riddled with work far less sublime. Under the dubious influence of a manipulative manager and insensitive record label, this great vocal talent was wasted on projects as odious as an entire album of Al Jolson songs. His longings for conventional show business respectability may have mirrored the mores of his generation of black entertainers, but it meant that Wilson would leave behind a recorded legacy more frustrating for what might have been than what he actually accomplished. A one-time professional boxer, and as you all may remember, Barry Gordy was a boxer also, very interesting. He apprenticed as a lead tenor with Billy Ward and the Dominoes, replacing the estimable Clyde McPhatter in the lineup. His earliest pop records, which were also the first hits for Motown's Berry Gordy Jr., throbbed with his incessant pleading vocals. But after parting ways with Gordy, he fell under the unenlightened artist and repertoire direction of Brunswick Records, the same people that gave you Buddy Holly with Strings. His singles had stopped making the charts at all when Higher and Higher, a record Wilson cut with moonlighting Motown sidemen behind him blasted off in 1965, setting the stage for what could have been one of the most extraordinary comebacks in soul history. His decision the following year to leave his longtime mob-affiliated manager, who also happened to own Brunswick Records, may have sabotaged that possibility. The murder of his 16-year-old son, Jackie Wilson Jr., in 1969 turned Wilson into a further tragic figure. But the story gets downright Dickensian after his onstage collapse from an apparent heart attack in 1975 at the Latin Casino in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Shipped out of the emergency room in a coma, possibly the product of improper medical care, Wilson lay speechless and motionless in a hospital bed while a long-forgotten ex-wife and attorneys began fighting over his inert body. When it became apparent there was no money anyway, Wilson wound up a ward of the state, alone and abandoned, comatose for 8 years before he died. Now,
How long?
For 8 years.
Oh, my God.
Now, one of the things I want to say on a high note, there's a street here in good old HP, Highland Park, where we're at, that's named after Jackie Wilson. And I have to say that he was one of my favorite entertainers. I remember Lonely Teardrops, Stop Dogging Me Around.
Yeah.
I wanted to sing like Jackie Wilson, but that was not possible. It just wasn't going to happen. But he definitely is one of the pioneers of rhythm and blues music, and we just wanted to acknowledge his legacy.
Yes.
And I'm glad that Highland Park felt enough of this brother to actually name a street after him, Jackie Wilson Way.
As a matter of fact, the street is on the corner of Dr. Livingston, the dentist who has appeared on WHBR before. And the street is, his dentist office is right there on the corner of Jackie Wilson and Woodward Avenue. I thought that was kind of interesting. But what I want to add to this is the fact that the number one or top hit that Jackie Wilson had, Higher and Higher,
Yes.
is the record on which Dee Dee's husband played. Dee Dee's husband was a drummer.
Wow.
And I think a number of you have heard Dee Dee to call in to our show. She's also a member of Hood Research and attends our meetings on the second Saturday of each month. But her husband, Clifford Harris, was the drummer on that song, and others, by Jackie Wilson. But the number one tune that you mentioned, Higher and Higher, he played drums. That's something.
It's a beautiful thing. And I have to add, too, that there are a number of streets within Detroit that are named after either Motown groups like the Miracles and the Supremes. This is over in the area of Trumbull. And they call it Martin Luther King. I believe it was originally called Myrtle, and they changed it to Martin Luther King Street. So there are many streets, and it may be even worthwhile for us, and we'll try to do this in the future, to highlight these different areas, because there's many things we don't know about our city that are historical and that really set the tone not only for America but for the world as well, originated right here. So we have an incredible musical legacy. This being Black Music Month, June being Black Music Month, I think it's even more incumbent upon us to know what our contribution is to the world, and that the world still loves our music.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe we can get a little background of one of his songs, speaking of Jackie Wilson. You Better Stop Dogging Me Around, or Higher and Higher, one of those, if it can be located. But in the meantime, our community, our culture is behind in understanding the importance of having statues that represent our people, of having streets named after our people, buildings, and all, because they are a part of our history. They are a memory that needs to be passed on. And then hopefully our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will ask, well, they see the street sign, well, who is Jackie Wilson? And maybe the aunts, uncles, grandparents would begin to share the history as you have this morning. There's a street by the music hall, I believe, named after Aretha Franklin. And that took place, what, two years ago maybe, that the street was named after her. And that adds to the knowledge base for our young people, and not just in the classroom.
And I want to add, too, that I was at Eastern Market this past Saturday, and there's a beautiful mural of Aretha Franklin on the side of one of the buildings. She's got her sunglasses on, and you can see her looking over the top of her sunglasses. I think it's an excellent mural. And it just, I took a picture of it, but it's just a beautiful thing that we have so many, along with the street names, we have other images. If you go to the Avenue of Fashion, right there at Outer Drive and Livernois, where there's a lot of construction now, so it's a little congested, but they have some other prominent Detroit musicians. For those of you who are into rap and who know about the producer Jay Dilla, who passed away in his early 30s, but he was instrumental in the careers of a lot of not only local but national talents, including Erykah Badu. So his legacy is there, but we have all of these images around. And a side note to that Eastern Market visit, we're going to have to kind of make sure, and I was at Burt's during that time too. I sat down, had some lemonade, and I just looked at the parade of people. But it's the gentrification. I met a friend there and another friend of mine who's a vendor there. We have to be aware that I know when I was walking down the street, it seemed like some of the people there just kind of wanted me to get off the sidewalk because, you know, they are the dominant population down there. But I've developed this technique that when I see this kind of approach coming to me, I might stop, look at something on my cell phone and force them to walk around me, because they do want you to give up the sidewalk so that they can walk in their groups. And I'm like, no. I took my first breath in Detroit at Herman Kiefer. I am not surrendering the sidewalk, and I'm not surrendering the city.
Amen. I understand that. That attitude is quite annoying.
Yeah.
And I do notice there are some changes, and I've heard conversations about some of the businesses that are being pushed out. And sadly, some of them are being pushed out because they don't own the building in which they do business. So when the contract expires, the new contract has an increase in the lease, you know, the renting of it. And that begins to eat away the profit that the business, you know, man or businesswoman is in. And there's a lot to be said about ownership. That's what happened to the little coffee shop called Mahogany some years ago. Same thing. The lease expires, rent goes up. Lease, you know, for a while, the lease expires, rent goes up again. And finally, they just close down. So, you know.
And that leads into what we say generally around, the day after Christmas with Kwanzaa. And one of the things that I always try to support is cooperative economics. Economics is the base for everything else that our culture has to build upon, because without the economic foundation, we don't really have anything else to. And I have to say that when I was on the Avenue of Fashion this past weekend also, the streets were still packed with cars and people, even though the construction has kind of created an obstacle. But I was glad to see that the streets, it was hard to find a place to park. That's how good it was. So we have to, you know, get out of our comfort zone. We've got art galleries. We have different fashion, jewelry, restaurants with foods, etc. That, as I heard someone say, if we don't support our own, who will? Because people from outside the community are just not going to do it. You know, there may be a few curious visitors, but it's up to us to support those businesses, just like other cultures will support their businesses, whether they're Arab, Jewish, etc. So it's incumbent upon us And I just love the atmosphere. I just love being around my people. I'm just going to tell the truth.
Oh, I agree with that. And I'm so glad, relieved, and whatever other word you want to put on that blank line, that medium is being torn down. It was a very poor idea in the first place. And the next thing to be eliminated, I'm looking forward to, is the bicycle lanes. And you know, Keith, and good morning, Keith, was sharing with us that when the bicycle lanes were constructed, at the end of the corners, they had some pole that would stick up out of the ground, and on the top, it would glow, and some paint on the ground would glow. He says now it's faded, doesn't glow anymore. Oh, I think that's pathetic. Plus, there have been accidents that don't get reported. Bicycles have run into cars. Bicycles, the cause of the accidents. Bicycles, and they are not reporting that.
To those of you who did not attend the last Hood Research meeting, we had the city ombudsman on, and one of the things that he made note of is that because Chrysler, or Fiat Chrysler as it is now, on Jefferson has worked out some agreement where they're going to eliminate the bike lanes to allow for more traffic. Now, this just shows you how corporate America is able to flex. But I guess on the positive side, the fact that we're getting rid of the bike lanes is a good thing also, because we were riding our bikes way before the concept or idea came up.
Invented, right. But just the idea of bicycles causing accidents is totally unnecessary. And it's the arrogance of the bicycler who just assumes you should not open your car door on my bicycle lane, you know. But anyway, I'm looking forward to the removal of them. I understand that they're on Jefferson causing all kind of traffic jams. And nobody is reporting that either. They want you to think all the bicycle lane ideas are wonderful ideas, and that's just not true.
And you know what's interesting, and this also came up at the Hood Research meeting, there's a group called the Slow Rollers. It started as a small group and just ballooned into a large group, but they were riding their bikes way before any bicycle lane or anything came up at all. And so the need for them to build it, which is spending our tax dollars as well, that's something we have to keep in mind. I've always had an issue, although we can't do it individually, of where my tax dollars go. I don't want them going to bicycle lanes. I don't want them to go fighting wars somewhere in the world. I want my tax dollars to be spent at home for something that is good for the community or for the nation, but not just for some frivolous idea.
Right.
And what I have told people before, just my own thought, I say, well, some of these people have jobs or positions within governments, and so they have to justify their job by coming up with some insane idea and then getting other people to buy into that idea, but they're still using my money. And I don't have a say-so how my money is spent, so I do have a problem with that.
I understand that. And they seem to come up with these ideas that are experiments, and as if the community knew that they were going to do this experiment, which doesn't have to be the case, you know.
Now, that came up at the meeting also. They'll try something, and then they'll ask us what we think instead of asking us what we think and then following, you know, whatever the consensus is from the group. So it's always, well, let's just try this and see how it goes over. And again, that's why attending like police commission meetings, there's so many different things that are there for us to be a part of the city council meetings as well. There's many things that we can fill. There's enough people in this city that we can fill a lot of these venues and voice our opinion, but if we don't get out and do it, and it's not like there's something more important. I mean, let the soaps go for a minute. I mean, you know, record them if you can. If you're looking at soaps, if you're looking at sports, you know, it's all right. It's nice diversion, but still, community participation is paramount.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. And you know, you mentioned this a few times, comfort zone. People need to get out of their comfort zone and not be afraid to talk to somebody else. You know, you'll find out that folks are really nice. And your neighbors, these are the kind of people who could actually look out. You don't have to visit in each other's house to be friendly to the neighbor. Just speak to them, and then you can go on your merry way. But folks are so afraid all of a sudden, afraid to say hello, afraid to just. I just it's strange. I don't know if it's too many shows they see on TV or movies that make them afraid to speak to one another. But whatever it is, they got to get out of their comfort zone, as you say.
And one of the things that's a problem, and we have to be aware of this ourselves, is that the media has given so many negative self-images of our people that we've actually embraced those negative images. So rather than see each other as brothers and sisters and fellow neighbors who are in the same struggle, by the way, rather than see that, what we tend to end up seeing is people who, when we look at them, we've already got a prejudge or prejudice against them and their own people. But we're all in the same boat. We may be on different ends of the boat, but we're in the same boat regardless. And it's important for us to be able to, because once you open up dialogue, as Theo was saying, once you open up dialogue, you never know where that's going to lead. You know, I may know someone who's a plumber or does cement work, or who's a seamstress. But if we just look at each other as strangers, rather than, we're not strangers, we're just people who haven't met each other yet. And I make it a point now, everyone doesn't respond necessarily, but then we can't be hurt by the fact that someone didn't respond, because then we take that same emotion and we'll put it as a blanket over the rest of the community and say, well, I ain't gonna even be bothered with them. But again, we're shopping at the same stores, we're walking down the same streets, and we all have the same issues. And as I've said to people before, you can be a doctor and get stopped by the cops and get beaten just as quickly as you could be someone who's just a blue-collar worker.
Well, that happened to Reverend, what's his name? Reverend, who was going downtown, and the police stopped him, disrespected him, and he's a part of the police commission. Go figure. Edgar Van, was it?
Right.
Reverend Edgar
Yes.
Van. And the police officer, if they have pictures in the precinct, well, that officer never saw one, and probably thinks that we all look alike anyway. You know, so they stopped him, disrespected him, and it's a sad situation where you don't have the kind of respect. And I don't think that our images, by way of movies and TV shows, promote respect anymore. And then you also have somebody in the highest office in the land disrespecting the members in the country. So that doesn't help the situation either, you know.
And I would add this, just in reflection of Father's Day being yesterday, as a matter of fact, is that I see, and this is still disconcerting to me, that I will see men who are fathers as well, who are still wearing their pants. They're getting lower and lower, it seems to me. Now they've got children, and I can't say anything to him. He's a man, and he should know better, but he's got his son or his daughters, and his pants are above his knees and below his behind. And I'm thinking, how can you consider, I can't say you're not a man, but it's not a manly thing to wear your garments like that. And I understood the teenage rap kind of thing where, children, not children, but teenagers, they do imitate certain celebrities because these are the people that are relevant to their particular generation. But I've seen them in their 30s and 40s still doing this. And I've always asked myself the question, at what age do you stop doing that and start to pull your pants up on yourself? You know, I can understand, you know, the peer pressure of being a teenager or something like that. You're in high school, middle school doing it. But once you've gotten into your later 20s, 30s, and 40s, and I've got people in my family, so I'm not, you know, oblivious to that on a personal level, who still do it. Now, I will say my nephews will pull them up a little bit when I'm around because they know Uncle Thabiti, you know, because they do respect me. But at the same time, what point in time? So if you're going to be a man, you're going to be a father. You don't have to be even a father just to be a black man. There's a point that you're supposed to have your pants up on you, because the people you see around you, whether they're insurance agents, they can be politicians, just all the men in the church, etc., Chrysler workers, whoever they may be, they don't wear their clothes like that. These are the men that you're supposed to imitate. You're not going to be, you're not Jay-Z, you're not Puffy or nothing like that. So I just think it's necessary for us to understand that you're judged by, unfortunately, how you carry yourself, and carrying your pants down is not the best way to do it.
Right. Well, we are going to carry on for another half hour, but right now we're going to take a top of the hour station break. Stay tuned.
Now you can watch WHPR TV 33 on Fire Stick. Catch all of your favorites. Stay informed. Don't miss a minute of your favorite talk shows. Call, text, tweet, post. WHPR TV 33 is worldwide on Fire Stick. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. WHPR TV 33, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.